Sorry, little one.
覚悟してろよ。行くぜ。
Welcome to Wordbreaker Coo's Reviews. I'm your host, Wordbreaker Coo, and today we're looking at the Storm Collectibles Darkstalkers Morrigan. I used to call it Morgana for some reason when I was little. I don't know why. I grew up with this game in the arcade. It was like one of the games near the tail end that was kind of still in the arcades. And I remember when they first put it in there, I was like, what is this? Capcom's not making Street Fighter no more? And I was like, whoa, what is this? Succubus, what's that? Fast forward to now. Woo, what I tell you. I know about what succubuses are now. Speaking of which, I do actually have this is the second one in my collection now. I'll just raise my camera. You can see the other one right there. I think it's the second one. And she's big. They're going to do a smaller arena version of her too, and I'm going to pick that up because that's the scale I really like. But of course, I did not know at the time, so I got this one. First and foremost, let's talk about what I don't like. I love the hips. I like the thighs and how wide they are. That's nice, but I think I could have toned it in just a little bit more because that gap is a little bit weird and she's got a bit of a wide booty. If they would have pushed it in a little bit more, I think it would look better. But other than that, from the paint apps to the way the wings move, it's really nice. She does have some problems though. And the main concern for me is this rubbery piece right here. I really worry because you can't get a lot of articulation on her arms because that exists. You know, it's just in the way. That's not their fault. That's the design of the actual character. I hope they figure this part out. Maybe making it a softer, more pliable material that's not connected here like that might help it more. Figure out some way so you can get some better articulation because she does use her hands quite a bit. And with these in the way, it's just going to create a lot more issues with the way they connected it. I don't know how they fix it, but yeah, they're going to have to do something different. As far as her face, I was concerned about her face for a while because the pictures we were getting at first did not look pretty. This is very pretty. This is Morrigan to me. And she's pretty articulate. Look at that. She can get some nice splits going on here. Pretty wide. It stretches that diaper there that I don't like, but it is some pretty good movement. She can't go out as much because, again, that diaper, that rubbery piece, really gets in the way. So I'm really interested to see how they engineer the next part. You can move it up more here, but now it's kind of stretched out a little bit, so I don't like that as much. But yeah, let's take a look at some of her accessories, okay? Let's look at some of her accessories. She's a tall girl. She comes with this bat. Although that's not how the bat looked, and when I played the game, her fireball looked different. She went like Bombi. You remember that? Like a Bombi or whatever? Shine of Rage, her uppercut. So anyway, you don't get all her bat wing motions. She has like some venom tendrils. They didn't include that. That's very unfortunate because she's almost like a Venom with how she moves her wings and can display them. She does have this head, but it looks very similar to this head. So I don't know why they did this. See, there's one. There's two. She's kind of smirking here. I don't know why they did that. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I do want to get a blind version, but I think I'll wait for Stormarina for that one because she does have like a second player 2 blind version that looks really nice. That one's a little more stern, but I just don't like it. I feel like she could have shown some more emotion. And speaking of showing more emotion, they went overboard with this. That is crazy. It's accurate, but that's crazy they actually did that. So that's a cool look. And she comes with a lot of different hands. She's got some open hands like that I'll probably put on her because a lot of times she'll just move her hands in like different motions where she's kind of moving her fingernails, and it looks good, really. I'm not even sure what this is. It looks like a gang sign or something she's making, or she's cusping something. Who knows? But they give her a nice... Storm's always doing good with a large assortment of hands. So that's nice. That is nice. They even this time give you 2 pairs of feet. I'm not going to put these on. Maybe if I do some articulated art eventually I will, but I'll wait for the Storm Collectible version because this nice foot here, you can see it's for her foot. You're supposed to take her foot off, I guess, and put this one on. But for me, that just seems like it's a little bit too much work, and I don't feel like messing this up and then having to have problems later on. So I'll just look at these, appreciate them, and probably never use them, okay? For you guys who like figure photography to the max, you guys can do all that. She does have more hair. So there's this piece of hair. And then you take it off, and you can add this cone here. Sorry I'm doing it off camera. That's probably not the most fun way to do things. But you got this hair here. And this one's interesting because it's like all flared up. I think that's like when she's like flying forward or something, or she's flying backwards and she's attacking. Makes more sense forward. Then she has this long one here that I like the least. So, oh, I'm sorry. She has 4. And she has this one, which looks really similar. Let me put her Morgan down real quick. These two look really similar except for the swoosh. So I don't really understand that completely. I think just the regular basic no movement hair is the best. And again, these look decent. They're easy to get on for the most part. You don't have to struggle or anything like that, but there's some motion. I just think that looks kind of silly to me. Okay, so she gets her hair. And that's all the accessories she comes with. Let me pause it real quick. All right, so she comes with no other accessories. That's it. I mean, that's quite a bit, actually. But again, I'm really kind of disappointed with the fireball because I feel like we got one like that from Dimitri, and hers is not like that. I'm going to try to put some images at the end of the video about Morgan, how she looks. But she is one of my favorite characters of all time, especially for fighting games. Let's get some comparisons for Morgan. There she is next to Street Fighter Yuri, and that looks good, okay? Although Yuri looks kind of short there. Damn, that's crazy, because they're both Storm Collectibles. Then here she is next to the guy I have not reviewed yet, Link. Yep, I think he'd be shocked if he saw her. He'd be like, ah. You know how he talks. And then we've got Chun-Li from Jada Toys, who's going to be very short. So these cannot be in the same universe if you're trying to do a fighting game crossover. So wait for the Storm Collectible version. And there she is with Astrobot. Let's get her next to this girl. Still too short. So she's not going to match up with much except for other Storm Collectibles. And even then, it's a hard sell. The only other Darkstalker figure we have is Dimitri. And she scales really nice to Dimitri. Fun fact, Dimitri was originally the main character of the series, but because of Morgan's popularity, I wonder why. She became more popular and like a flagship character. Now, if they're only going to do a few more of these Darkstalkers characters, which pains me because I want all of them, then I really want to get Felicia and John Tailbane. Felicia and John Tailbane are a must for me. Oddly enough, I would also love Lord Raptor, just because he was so weird and I hated that guy, but he would be a cool action figure. Zombie, come on. And that's it. So I hope you guys liked this review or enjoyed it. Until next time, peace and Darkstalker grease.
Subscribe and like. Okay.